What's up, everybody? It's Ivan with Trouts Fly Fishing, back with your bi-weekly fishing report and forecast. It's been a minute. It's been a couple weeks. Obviously, as I warned last time, I got the pleasure of going to Cuba fishing for permit, tarpon, bonefish, jacks, barracuda, snapper. Like, all that stuff is really cool. Got to jump a tarpon. The only tarpon I cast to, I got to jump. That was pretty cool. I leadered a permit, which, coming from trout fishing, is hard to, I don't count it, like the guide count it, I don't count it. Maybe give it like half credit, whatever. Bonefish, I will say, are a lot cooler than I thought. It's cool to fish those. Anyway, it's neither here nor there, I suppose. Although I will say I will be going back to the salt. I've made a promise to myself. Haven't told my wife yet, but I've made a promise to myself that I'm going to be going back to the salt this year and next year. Just got to figure that out. If anyone wants to go fish for tarpon, holler at me. I'm your guy. I like tarpon. Tarpon are really cool. But I also think trout are cool, let's be clear. So let's get to the task at hand. We're in Colorado. I'm not in Cuba anymore. In Colorado, I think summer's actually here. So that's like actually a good thing. I think we've had a couple false starts with temperatures rising, and then in the high country, and then you'd get like these storms coming through, or you get these cool downs coming through, and water has water levels have dropped on a lot of our freestones, and while that's opened up some good windows for fishing, namely the sandfly hatch. I know the sandfly hatch over this weekend was really good. In the middle of Colorado, and we'll start to move up the upper Colorado as well. I think with the amount of snow that we have in the high country, it's certainly a good thing to just start getting it out of there. Let's get runoff moving. Let's fill up some reservoirs. Let the high country sort of get unlocked. I like summer. Let's not delay summer anymore. So it's certainly a good thing that we're seeing bumps and flows. I know there are a lot of people who are a little bit worried about the amount of water that's going to be coming down, and while certainly that is a valid concern, I think in my experience with extended runoffs or big runoffs, fish are smart. They know they survive for a reason. They go to the soft edges. They find pockets of slow water, and there's a lot of food getting dislodged. It might, at times during this runoff, it might be a little bit harder to access those fish, and certainly want to make sure you're being careful out there. But in my experience, the fishing after runoff and into the fall, the fish will generally put on some weight. They're spending quite a bit of time eating big meals when you have a big runoff like this, and they don't get harassed by us anglers, so they'll come out healthier on the other side, which is always cool to see. That being said, with runoff on rising flows on the Colorado, the Eagle, the Arkansas, the Roaring Fork, on those fisheries, you're really going to be looking for pockets of fishability. If it's rising water, generally you're not going to find many fish, but if it steadies out a little bit or drops, if you have a little bit of a cool down, or if something there's not as much snow to melt from whatever tributaries coming down, you'll have pockets of fishability. So that's certainly a good thing. But now more than ever, it's a good time to hit your tailwaters. It's a great time to hit your still waters, and also a good time to mess around with bass, pike, carp, and even mix in some bluegill days as well. So while I think we get sort of lumped, or we get really attached to rivers or certain rivers, this is all part of the natural cycle, and it's certainly a good thing for the rivers, good thing for our reservoirs, and there's still a lot of good fishing to be had. So let's talk about the tailwaters. So Deckers, they just dropped to like one something, like low 100s. The Dream Stream's still at 90 or 87 or 90 or something like that, and 11 Mile's still in the upper 80s. So that, I know they've bumped the blue, but that's certainly a fishable. All up and down the blue, certainly fishable, even at the bumped flows that they have. But the South Platte is certainly looking like it's going to be a good place to go if you want to fish moving water for trout and want to stay relatively close to Denver. So on all the rivers, it's going to be a caddis, blue wing, midge game. You're going to have to use a little bit lighter tippet for the most part, but you're going to find fish in riffles, you're going to find fish in tailouts, you're going to find fish in runs. They're going to be sort of everywhere. The water temperatures are getting really good, and the caddis hatch is going to, you're going to start to see caddis come off pretty well. The other thing to look out for as the water temperatures start to rise, especially Decker's, I don't know if it's little known, but you have the opportunity to fish. You'll see golden stones coming soon. So fishing small patch rubber legs, small golden stone patterns will produce fish as well. So yeah, it's good thing, good fishing. So same thing with 11 Mile. Dream Stream definitely is a caddis and blue wing game. Buckskins. I had quite a bit of success on buckskins last time I fished there. And then we're also seeing some action on blue wing olives in the afternoon. So anytime you have clouds coming through, be prepared for blue wings to be emerging. So you're either going to find fish elevated in the water column or eating up top. So be prepared with your favorite emergers and favorite dry flies for the Dream Stream. Still waters, we're sort of getting into the chironomid season. You'll still have the opportunity to throw worms, leeches, but chironomids are definitely something to focus on this time of year. So be prepared with your favorite chironomids, your ice cream cones, your Tim's cronies, all that sort of stuff. So if you have any questions about rigging for stillwater, or you want to talk about tactics, feel free to give us a shout. 303-733-1434, or come into the shop. Quite a few of us enjoy stillwater fishing. Warm water, bass are starting to come up on beds, but you're also seeing some bass eating and sort of getting a little bit more rambunctious as the water temperatures come up. So that's a good thing. The Denver South Platte's coming to good shape, so that's fishing well. Yeah. The world really is your oyster, guys. And just because the Colorado's a little blown out doesn't mean there's not good fishing to be had, That's all I got to say. I suppose with the freestones, I should mention all of them are rising. Runoffs here. Yeah, that's all I got. Caddis, blue wings, golden stones, midges, worms. Fishing is cool. Okay, bye.